had my veggie soup that I made.
Oh yes.
My classic like all of the things in the fridge soup.
Yeah.
Also, so my work is by Flower Shop, or the Kendall Square Flower Shop, right next to the Post Office and the Hong Kong thing.
Yeah.
So like I walked past and it's like, ah yes, it's that time of year where this flower shop is open until 8 p.m. and it's like packed with people.
You know, honestly, Star Market would sell it for $50. Like a bouquet of roses for $50
Wait,
on
really?
Valentine's Day. Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Man. Yeah.
Remember the last time I bought flowers? I like walked in there and was like, I am not buying roses. And like found like these really adorable like giant daisies that were like much cheaper but like looked really silly. They were really good.
No, yeah, I would do the carnation sale.
Oh, the AKO?
Yeah. Battle Royale, Tetris, Poggers. Yeah. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day for all y'all kids out there. But yeah, I would get the carnations. Because I also like supporting a cause, but like, I don't know, it's so special. Like, granted, I kind of feel like I want to do something this Valentine's Day, but it's also like, eh. I don't know why the day has to be so special. Okay. Level 12. Hey, everyone's here. Hey, guys. Yeah, so I mean, I only played for an hour last night, so I'm pretty...
An hour? Between what time?
Oh, actually it says 2 hours, so I guess I got my first clear, on-theme red blanket. T-spins 1. Look, kid. Yeah, what was it? Yeah, so I only played for an hour last night before I got my first clear, and then I may have played for another 30 minutes before leaving work.
I remember you started playing at like 1?
Alright. So I'm not playing any sound because I don't want to drive Chris crazy with the constant Tetris noise, but this is the first time I've done it from not handheld mode and doing it like actually on the TV. So let's see. Yeah, I know, you guys hear sound, but I don't hear sound because due to my setup. But, so it's quiet on my side. It's so that Chris doesn't go crazy from all of the Tetris noises, but you guys have signed up for it. So it's basically that I can't put on sound. Since our HDMI cord's broken, in order for me to hear sound and for you guys to hear sound at the same time, I have to do this like audio splitter thing, and it's kind of annoying, so I don't want to do it. But you guys get this. I also know what the Tetris sound goes like, and like, jeez. Yeah, you get the tense music. Alright. Oh, no. Oh, I get confused with the... Okay. Yeah, all of our roommates are gone. Because they're all traveling. So it's just me and Chris holding down the fort. Yeah, I can't really look at chat at the same time as I'm doing this, so I'm just gonna keep talking to myself until I die, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Ava was really surprised to find out that I really like Tetris, and I've been playing for a while. I've even taught, like, high school kids, like, splash classes on this, which is, like, an MIT thing where you, like, teach, oops. You teach basically whatever you want to teach. So I didn't realize that my roommates didn't know that I'm, like, super into Tetris. But I also written, like, a bunch of, papers. Not a bunch of papers. I wrote, for a class, a paper about, like, online Tetris communities, and, like, I was focusing on Facebook Tetris, Tetris Friends, and, oh shoot, the NES, like, kind of classic Tetris battle mode. So, like, if this had come out, I would have definitely written about that. Yeah. So it's kind of funny because Chris, do you know what Battle Royale is? Or
yeah.
Yeah. So they just announced this like randomly yesterday. They were like, by the way, we're making Tetris Battle Royale. It's free right now. You can go and download it. And everybody was like, what the crap? This is the game that we didn't know we needed. So yeah, it's going on.
Oh wow, this is really cool. So you get to see who you're competing against.
Yeah.
Or
So
how well you're doing compared to everyone else.
yeah, so I'm one of 60 remaining right now. So like multiplayer Tetris has been a thing for a while. It used to be very popular on Facebook. So like it's not really Battle Royale. It's like kind of just like more multiplayer Tetris. But yeah, but like I'm always happy to see more Tetris in my life, TBH.
The last time I played World of Tetris was when I was going on field trip to South Africa, and the plane flight was 28 hours.
Oh.
And there was Tetris, and then everyone just played Tetris.
That's really funny.
Yeah, with the little TV remote.
Yeah.
For your in-flight TV screen. Yeah.
So one of the things I actually like this compared to like the other battle versions is that like it does get faster. For most of the other Tetris modes, they don't actually get faster. It's just more of like you competing against people, so they can tend to drag on for a while. But this one gets faster as the number of people go down. Also, like since it's there are like 99 people like all at once. You do feel like when there's only a few people left, because then all of the attacks are like directed straight at you. Whereas like here it's kind of more distributed. Like only one person is targeting me right now. So or two people are.
So the people who got out can target other people? Or
no, once you're out, you're out.
Okay.
But it's like so the yellow lines are who's attacking me right now, and the green ones are I'm attacking them. So now there's only 18 people left, so it's like...
Oh, I see. Really fast.
Yeah. Man, chat is talking, but I can't look at the screen right now! I mean, I'm already pretty happy that I can, like, talk and play at the same time. TBH. So yeah, so on the... They tell you like how many you're going to. Oh, okay, cool. No, shoot. Okay, I can't. Oh my god. Well, I think that's it. I think that's it, boys. Yeah, but like at this point, right? Like if you make a mistake, then like you can't really respond to other people, like doing stuff against you. Yeah, I think we dumb boys. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh. Yeah, but I'm sunk because I got that. Alright, that was fun. Yeah, 5th. Okay.
That's pretty good.
Anarchy in chat. Yeah, Marls Chartel is surprised that people didn't know that I was really into Tetris. Okay, I got 6. I'm pretty happy about that. Order in chat. The real hype is Mario Maker 2. Yeah, so I don't know if you're interested in that at all, but like Super Mario Maker, you can design your own Mario levels. That got so there's things called Nintendo Directs where they like make announcements about new games and stuff. And this one was a super big surprise.
Oh, okay.
But there was also stuff like Mario Maker for Switch and stuff like that.
And then maybe I can man chat for you and then speak out chat while you're busy pawning noobs.
Pawning noobs. Yes. I think my goal for this stream is to get another clear. Okay. So that's what I'm working towards.
I'll be back.
Bye. I have not seen the gaming historian video on Tetris. Hello. Yeah. I am so down for squads, TBH. Like I wanna friend all you dudes and pwn you, TBH. But for now we're just doing this. Part of me wonders like how many of these are actually real people though, because one of the things that one of the things that I was finding was that when I was writing my paper about the Facebook Tetris, a lot of those are asynchronous, so they store people's like past play data, and then they play it back to you so that you can always have it on demand. So I'm a little skeptical about how many of these are like actually real people, and this is something that's hard to check before they release everything. I think one thing that's kind of funny is that they don't even release like what all the modes mean. So like, I'm not even sure really what KO and badges mean. Probably you guys are gonna yell at me in chat and be like, "Oh, duh, it means this," but like, I don't know right now. That was dumb. But yeah, I wonder how it is as a spectator experience, because like as a player experience, all the flashing lights are like kind of a lot. It reminds me of like in Toho, where like you don't actually get to see the really pretty like starbursts and stuff like that because you're just really focused on a very tiny part of the screen for most of the time. So yeah. I really want to learn T-spins. I think that's really the thing. Well, okay, so things that are holding me back is that one is that I'm not super familiar with like the turning in the other direction. I'm really used to just spamming one direction and then just calling that a day. And then the other one, of course, is T-spins. I think is holding me back from getting better. Yeah. But yeah, I've looked up videos online to do the like T-spins and stuff like that. I think it'll just take like a lot of practice, and maybe I would have been more motivated to do this when I was younger, but as it stands now, I'm a little less. I'm just happy of Tetris being the sort of casual thing I do, better than the average person, but not like super serious about it. Why am I getting all these warnings? Am I really not in danger? I probably should switch to attackers so I can... Yeah, I really like this option. So I'm pretty sure KOs is go for easy KOs, so that you can rack it up really quickly. So I like getting it and then drawing a whole bunch of aggro and then like killing a bunch of noobs via the attackers feature. Because, I don't know, it just feels a lot more satisfying to be able to send like multiple lines all at once to like multiple people instead of just like killing single people at a time. Yeah, I don't know why it feels satisfying. But yeah, like there, I could have just done this with 1B, but it's sort of... I don't know, this is a lot more fun. Like, it sort of sucks that like I can't really see what y'all are talking about right now, but definitely like, it feels a lot more easy to just kind of keep a banter going than with other games, right? Like, trying to do this with Bastion, where I really feel like I have to focus the entire time, is a lot harder, but like, I guess maybe because Tetris is something that I feel like I've really grown up with, and it feels just like a lot more intuitive to me. Which kind of goes back to the, like, why do I want to play... Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's QT, always. Maybe I can pull this off. Jeez, okay. Not out of it yet, but at least in a better place. Okay, cool. Oh shoot! Freaking frick! Okay, I think I can start breathing again. Okay, there we go. Not out of it yet. Come on, this is not the greatest position to be in. I don't think I'm gonna be happy until I get all the way down to the bottom. TBH. Not great. Alright, yeah, this is a lot more comfortable to be in. Oh, it's 13th. Okay. I think in the process of surviving that was a lot better. But yeah, been playing Tetris for a while. That's why it feels really comfortable, and it's why I think I'm not as interested in like just like really learning hard, because it's mostly just like a stress kind of relief thing for me, and like not, yeah, like I know I could get better, but as of now it's just sort of a fun thing. Definitely love watching the more professional people play, and I think it's crazy to me that for the NES Classic version, such a young kid is like really beating all of those other like standard names. Like the stat that he's like, you know, oh, Jesus, I messed up the hard drop there. But the jeez. The fact that they enabled infinite spin on this is kind of bamboozling to me. I guess maybe because they wanted to be like more casually accessible, maybe? It just feels a little weird to me. Because it's like not hardcore or whatever. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Something about, I don't know. Oh, I'm just 1v1ing people right now? Okay. If I get the frickin' like clear already, I'll take it. But yeah, not actually gonna be one of the Tetris gods that like Biopavor talks about. Oh, I won! I got it! Chris, I did it! I got first place! Oh, the jewels remain entirely unsullied. Did you just challenge us in Tetris? Yeah, I did challenge you boys. Okay, KO is people who are closest to death. Badges are the little carrot things that you get from making KOs. So in theory, the people with a lot of badges are the best Tetris players. So attacking people with the most badges means you're hitting the most skilled. Oh, I didn't know you stole badges. That's what I was a little confused about like the stealing badges part. I was thinking that badges could have been like if you had like a high rank, like the little weird cube thing. Okay, so it's like you kill the best people. If you achieve Victory Royale, you get 100% of the badges because you're stealing it from people. Poggers. Oh man. Great. Oh, so, yeah, okay, well, there goes my goal for this stream. Man. I'm so pleased with myself! It's just such a good feeling, like, man, yeah, no, the stream's over. No, like, when I got it last night, I was just so pleased. I was just telling all my friends, I was like, oh, man. Yeah, man, oh, I'll just finish, I gotta go back to work anyways. No, I'm super addicted to Tetris. Alright, I started the stream at, like, 8:30, so, like, maybe 10:30 will be the latest I stay, I think. I forgot what you told me that KOs meant. Oh, man, no. Jeez. Already screwing up right off the bat. I mean, I guess so then, like, if I wanted to, then, like, killing a bunch of people, right off the bat, like what you were telling me about the, like, more skilled players might be a better strategy than just, like, trying to increase aggro. I don't know. I don't know, I wonder if it's, like, my feeling of, like, not doing, T-spins is just, like, me, like, kind of feeling like, oh, it's a try-hard thing or whatever. I don't know. I guess it's just like, you know, you just want no one to stop, like, in terms of your hobbies becoming, like, something greater, right? Like, fuck! Man. dumb freaking. Yeah, I don't know. What did the other streamers talk about when they stream this? Like, are they just... Like, this is the first time I've ever felt like I wanted to bother, like, trying to get the text-to-speech mods going on, just so I don't have to look at the screen and see what people are talking about. But yeah, I can see, like, the text go by on the corner of my eye on down there, so I can tell when you guys are talking. But I can't, I freaking really can't respond. I want to get a perfect clear. That's like, I think like out of all of the Tetris that I've played on Tetris Friends, I like only got a perfect clear once. So I don't know. I don't know what the strat for that is, but oh man, that feeling when you like realize you can get a perfect clear and then you do it is just like great, man. Am I getting a lot of? Okay, I'll start killing them. I'll try that strat. Not in a great spot. Not in a great spot. Do you guys understand the patterns of how it decides to send you blocks? Because in like, geez, only 50 players, no, not very much. Yeah, I think this is gonna be an early GG. Get over there. Yeah, this is not great. Because in the oh, yep, that's done. 38, not that great. In the early Tetris battles, like you would, like if you send a Tetris, it would send 4 blocks in a row to the other people, and I'm curious if it's the same sort of thing. Isn't Twitch chat basically IRC? Yeah, but it does require me to write some scripts in order to interface it. Jeez. Oh, that probably got caught on the microphone. Sorry, guys. Oh, man. Alright, let's do this again. But yeah, Twitch chat is basically IRC. You could write some interfaces to connect Twitch chat to other things. Like, someone's definitely already written a mod for, like, Twitch chat to voice. It's like, I also want to get the thing where it, like, tells you when people subscribe or when people donate, so that it can be put on the screen, but, like, I don't know, just haven't had the time to do that. Shouldn't be too bad, though, TBH. I forgot to look up what KOs did again. I guess, like, you know, it's just something about familiarity, right? Like, I feel like that's a large part of why people say that they're watching for, like, you know, the personality, but it's also, like, just a joy to see someone who is, like, super good at the game and, like, knows what they're doing, because it's just, like, you learn something from them and they can tell you more about the game. So even though I guess I'm, like, not a pro Tetris person, it's just, like, kind of nice, I guess. Maybe, on the streamer side, I guess, it's, like, nice to, be at a level of comfort where I can just kind of very casually just talk like this. I think it's funny though, because when I was writing my paper about Tetris communities, my professor was like, oh, make sure that you talk about the social aspects and not just the gameplay aspects, because there's a term in game studies called ludology, which means that you're only looking at games for the gameplay, like you're looking at it as a set of rules and less about like the storyline and stuff. So my professor actually warned me, like, oh, like interesting idea to be writing about the Tetris community. Make sure that you're still focusing on the ludological side, or on the social side, because she had kind of conceptualized Tetris as just like a pure like, you know, the meaning term for ludology studies is Tetris studies, right? Because like Tetris is kind of viewed as this very pure game without rules. In fact, like when Janet Murray, a famous game scholar, like wrote a narrative reading of whatchamacallit, Tetris, she got a lot of flack. So the reading that she proposed was that, oh, Tetris is a analogy about like the overworked American system of like you're constantly working and the work keeps piling up and you can never escape it. So it was like a critique about capitalism. She got a ton of flack for this, of like reading into things that really weren't there. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah, but like, so like to the point where like, you know, it's kind of framed as just Tetris studies and nothing more. She had herself like not thought about like the fact that there's actually a pretty rich multiplayer community associated with this game. And I think every time like multiplayer Tetris becomes more into the mainstream again, people are like, WTF, you know, like how does multiplayer Tetris even work as a concept? But like I think it's funny because even in like the 80s, in the big wars between Nintendo and whatchamacallit, Atari, about who was going to own the Tetris copyright, even still, in the Atari version, there was a cooperative Tetris mode. You would play on this giant grid, and like you and another player would just go and like cooperate and just try to clear out as many blocks as possible. So I feel like multiplayer has always been kind of part of Tetris, and it's sort of funny to me that because like it's kind of cast as like these Tetris studies, you know, these ludological readings of it. I feel like it's often very surprising to people that things like this exist. So, is this Battle Royale? No, this isn't Battle Royale. This is just a multiplayer Tetris, but like it is continuing in this long tradition of, you know, long tradition of something. I can't really think of what. I was not paying attention to that. Less CMS, more pew pew. Yeah. Yeah, I think the configuration options for this are kind of weird. I really don't like that you couldn't set your own things and that the only configuration options are what the buttons go to, which joystick goes to what, in terms of selecting targets. Like that's, I guess probably like they really were trying to aim this to a like more new demographic, right? Of like people who are like, oh yeah, Tetris, I like that game, I want to have my online subscription be worth something, and just like kind of casually go into it. And so that's why there's like, you can't turn off ghost mode, you can't turn off holding, you can't edit the debouncing features. Like it's definitely, those are features that if you look at the Tetris Friends, which is sort of appealing to a more like hardcore audience, that like they include those features in. Granted, they're like behind the paywall, if I remember. Like you have to collect a certain number of tokens in order to do that. But like I remember, like before spending it on cosmetics, I was just immediately kind of going into those. So, man, I should really change the title to this to CMS Power Hour. Instead, because like, yeah, I guess that's, if you catch me in pure stream of consciousness freaking crap, that's what I'm gonna talk about, I guess. Freaking fuck, man. This is nonsense. No one's even attacking me, I'm just being done in by my own incompetence. Sure? God, this infinite spin is so cheap. I'm relying so heavily on it. I think the another thing that's really weird is like the mini slowdown that happens when you are when you're sending lines to someone else. That's something that really throws me off. Yep, that's it. Third, it looks like. Yeah, third. Okay. You could T-spin, you had the setup. Oh, god dang it. I've won it once, a Tetris that completely clears the board. Tetris was made in the USSR, yeah. I actually really recommend looking into the history of like the copyright issues of like Alexei Pajitov and like him just making it as like a computer science student just for the fun of it, and then like being in this very closed communist society, and then like suddenly realizing like, oh, I can make a lot of money through intellectual property rights and licensing out, and the big Nintendo Atari copyright fights about like who was going to actually— oh, I was third. Oh yeah, I already knew that. The big intellectual copyrights about this. Yes, I am the spiciest meme lord. Up for dropping is disgusting. I hella agree with this about like, dude, the first time I was playing it, because I kept on doing it to do like for turning it, but then like, you know, having it just immediately hard drop was just like, jeez. I feel like I'm gonna be screwed when I move to keyboard Tetris as well, because like, you know, that muscle memory is gonna get wrecked again. I'm noticing I'm cursing a lot more, because, I don't know, I'm getting old. I didn't used to like cursing a lot. Oh, nice. Oh, we'll send. Oh man. Hey G-Fo Shizzle. Thanks for joining. Got a nice little community here. Not a bunch of memes. Well, okay, who am I kidding? A lot of memes. But, yeah. Not as much about Jeopardy. The Jeopardy All-Stars is coming up. I keep forgetting to look up what KOs do. Especially after BioPavor like took the time to write down everything on there, but whatever. Yeah, the Jeopardy All-Stars tournament is coming up, and I was an alternate for that, so I'm kind of— I probably will actually watch it, because due to being an alternate, even though I know what the outcomes of the games are, I didn't actually get to see too many of the games due to game show sequestration rules. So, as what one of my friends, Matt Jackson, said, like, if you just want to watch the brain people, smart people you know answering the brain question, just go and tune in. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really care for any of this. I just want to watch the brain people answer the smart questions. That was dumb. Yeah. I think this is probably, aside from Overcooked, this is probably one of the few times I've actually been playing a game right when it's like culturally relevant and it just came out, which is a bit amusing to me. About, like, you know, I have been focusing mostly on indie games that have been out for a while, because that's when you can get them for cheap. So, you know, I think it's also nice. I did the thing where you get a whole bunch of friends together and you pretend you're a family, so that you can get in on the family plan for a lot cheaper than just buying a subscription for yourself. So yeah, it just feels like— they at first weren't even— I wasn't even going to get onto the online subscription, because I was like, I don't really play Smash seriously enough to want to get the online thing. And then my friends were like, look, no, like, it's a set price for us, so like, it's not that big of a deal. I think they're using some floor budget in order to get the online thing, because it's like, it's a communally owned Switch, so— and they're like, it's really no cost. And I was like, oh, okay, like, yeah, sure, why not? You've got empty spaces on your family plan, I'll be happy to take it. But it's kind of amusing in like a CMS way, right? Of like, you know, you don't actually have and also like, what family is gonna have more than one Switch? Like, to be honest, right? I don't really know who they are targeting for this, but like, it's just sort of funny as like a the classic like family of choice rather than actual family. And I guess like the other analog would probably be like Netflix. Of like having a Netflix account and like sharing it among your friends rather than actually being your family. But that case is actually a little more sense because like actually there's literally no reason for an entire family to have separate Switches because you can make different accounts, right? Like because even then the save files are the things that matter the most. So like I guess it would be a family of like you live far away. Whatever. Nintendo's never been very good about their online frickin'. I could have done that green one in there. It's not good. This and then this. Okay. Yeah, there's something really sad about Nintendo like kind of shutting down the servers. Like it makes sense, right? It's been a while since those servers have been useful, but like I'm a big fan of Giant Bomb, the video game website, and just like they had a farewell to Miiverse, and there was something kind of sweet about it, you know. Granted, Miiverse is a complete cesspool, but like just like seeing it in the last hours is kind of nice. It reminds me that like I only started really checking out Tumblr again when the whole like porn ban was happening because I just wanted to see what a shit show was going down. But yeah, I was on Tumblr mostly for fan art, and a lot of those original creators have moved somewhere else. So it's just, yeah, I've stopped now. Now that like the hubbub about like porn is over, then like, yeah, I'm back off of Tumblr. I guess more in the topic of dying mediums, Firefox recently deprecated, not super recently, but they deprecated their RSS feeds, but it used to be that you could bookmark an RSS feed, and it would just be in your bookmark toolbar. So that's how I was doing it, because I was mostly wanting to check up on webcomics that don't update very often, right? So it was a convenient way for me to be like, oh, like, when I'm bored, I'll just check out what webcomics have updated or not. And it was pretty quick, because I could just click through my toolbar. So they deprecated that recently, so I had to switch to Feedly. And it's just a different experience, and yeah, there's not much I could do about that. And it was just a different experience, and it's like, I'm less of a fan, but like, yeah, RSS feeders are dying too. Oh, sweet. Thanks, Meower. Oh, I should definitely subscribe to this guy. What else has he done on? Gaming historian. I should. Look at this. My top 5 torques in video games? Okay. Oh, Steve Jobs was an Atari? That's cool. Dude, I love the Game Boy player. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through this. Yeah, I'm gonna give this guy a subscribe. Let's see. Oh, thanks, G-Fo Sizzle. Let's see. I waited at Walmart for an NES Classic. They all brought their own Switches. So I think that's actually... that makes sense of, like, your kids are fighting, but also, like, what a way to drop, like, what, $1,600? That's crazy. Oh, I didn't read Meower's comment right afterwards. Sorry. Man. Yeah, well, I guess that makes sense for like if you have multiple people who are going to fight on it, or if you're just using it as like a mobile console. Like, I guess 3DSs are like $300 each also? I don't remember how much. But like, I guess it makes sense, right? Because this is basically like another mobile console. I really wish there was like crosstalk between Steam and whatchamacallit. There was crosstalk between Steam and Switch, because like, I guess it matters less now that, thank you Meower for the capture card, but it matters less because like I can stream from both now. But like, my friend has, I forgot to do this again. I'll try badges this time. But like, my friend has Stardew Valley and I want to play co-op with him, but like, I would rather do it on the Switch, but since he's already has it on PC, then I'm like kind of stuck, you know? What a terrible start. What am I even doing in this game? But yeah, I think, okay, then the family plan makes a lot more sense for if you're going to have multiple people who want to play their own games on it. But yeah. Man, for a family. I think it's funny though, the like nostalgia factor. Again, the video game website that I follow, Giant Bomb, they were like, it's really like, you know, you would have those like old cars and then like they'd resell muscle cars for being like, remember when that jock at school had this muscle car and then got all the girls, and now you too could relive your dreams and now you could be the cool kid. It really is that way for like the NES and the SNES. I mean, having a legal way to play Earthbound is pretty cool, but it's just like really, I don't have the nostalgia factor for that. It's also interesting because I think there's been some academic papers written about this, but like, it's kind of Nintendo like giving the okay on ROMs for their own use, but less so for, especially with like the crackdown on like Emu Paradise and stuff like that. The double standard behind that. This one is an academic paper. I read it and I want to do something related to this eventually, but it's talking about how Mario Maker also was like a combined sort of crackdown on like Kaizo Mario ROM hacks, or like Pangea Panda and stuff like that. Is a really interesting commentary, right? It's kind of, if you look at the advertising materials for Mario Maker, it's all about like, oh, you can make all the dumb level designs that you always wanted to make, right? And kind of prioritizing Nintendo's place in the level designer as like the supreme one, and then like your shitty ass, you know, Kaizo Mario ones being like less so. I think it's also interesting because like, one of the classic things that people like to put in modern art museums about video games is that there was this artist in the 90s who I think was like kind of the father of ROM hacks. And then so they just made a ROM hack where it was just like they took the clouds from Mario games and just like made a really like peaceful kind of world. And like now when you look at this is like well, okay, like not even now, like I think even at the time, because this was 90s, right? And like Kaizo Mario I think was already a thing then. It's just like really boring, like, you know, looking at what ROM hackers actually do, like there's quite a bit of art, even in like a very hard, especially in a very hard level design. But like it has to be kind of put into this sort of more artistic, contemplative framework in order for it to get sort of the recognition from a broader art community, which I thought was really funny. I saw this at the Institute for Contemporary Art in Boston, which had a really great exhibit on art in the age of the internet, and that was like, it makes sense. It's one of the most classic pieces. Like, if you're going to go to a frou-frou art museum and it's talking about video games, it's probably, that piece is probably going to be in there. But, yeah, it was just sort of funny being like... So then going back to that paper about, like, the prioritization... Shit. The prioritization, like... Mario Maker kind of, like, saying that giving priority to Nintendo's level design over the casual players is really sort of interesting. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, this is actually it. Oh, okay. I was really proud of that run where I actually, like, I was near the top of the screen and I pulled it out to, I think, like a second place one. But... oh, man. I love Stardew Valley. Yeah. Man. Especially now that there's co-op mode. I'm very excited to play some co-op with him. Nice. The 2DS is $90? That's a lot cheaper than I remember. Yeah, now that they ever released a 2DS with like the clamshell, I really should have gotten that one. But I wanted to play Animal Crossing, so... Man. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up and look for what the KOs mean again. KOs is people who are closest to death. Okay, so it is like people that you can easily get the KOs off of. Okay. Alright. I don't even know what you're referring to, what I was referring to as shitty. I'm gonna go get some water. It's constant talking. What else got announced in the Direct? Also, Linster, I have no idea what you want the link for, because, yeah, I don't know. I'll just at you. I don't really remember what else was in the Direct. What was it? Like, freaking... this thing on Kaizo and Mario Maker. Okay, I can find that. Oh yeah, no, it's not a Link to the Past, it's Link's Awakening remake. Yeah, it's gonna be a $60 game, but like, a lot of people I know are super hyped about that. Kaizo... oh cool, it looks like it's free access, too. I think there was a lot of speculation that it was going to be $60. Because it was like a full-on remake and like updating the graphics and stuff like that. I'll post this to the Discord, too. Yeah. Yeah. Well, by foregrounding the level creators' identities and their status as amateur designer, Super Mario Maker allows and encourages the production of unfair level designs while simultaneously sanctifying Nintendo's authorial principles and the underlying player-centric design ethos of the Super Mario canon. Yeah, I really like this paper. Wait, Deltarune was announced? Wait, let me look at that. Deltarune, Nintendo. So a Deltarune port to, yeah, the Switch. Man. Was more chapters? Hold up. When are the more chapters? More chapters are in development. Okay, I mean, he's been saying that, like, it's gonna probably take him a while, and he's not sure. Yeah, I don't know about Fire Emblem, man. Like, it's like, I played it before it became Waifu Simulator, so I haven't really been checking out the new ones as much. Part of me kind of wants to play it just so I can understand all of the Korra and Robin jokes, but I don't know. All I know about it is some time traveling nonsense and freaking, I don't know, man. I played Shadow Dragon. The one with Lyn in it, which I think is Fire Emblem 7, and then yeah, I think those are the only ones I played. I'm even getting tired. I'm making more mistakes than I was before. Real talk, when's my Animal Crossing coming out? I guess one thing that you guys should get excited for is that we realized that Chris hasn't played a lot of the classic, like, good GameCube games. So, I already told you guys this. My parents found all the games and they're shipping it to me. In the meantime, we do have Kirby's Epic Yarn, so I'm just waiting for the RCA to HDMI conversion so that we can stream the Wii. Thank you again, Meower, for the capture card, because it's definitely enabling us to do more stuff like this. So yeah, everything should be coming on Monday, so probably next Thursday's stream we're gonna have Ava and K-Kim going through Kirby's Epic Yarn. I'm very excited about that. We also got Sunshine and Zelda Wind Waker from my house. So I think those are gonna be the next games. Those will keep us occupied for a while. Yeah. I know that we also have what's it called? Thousand Year Door at my house over here. But I know it's a good game. I have a little less nostalgia for it. Part of it's because when I played it as a kid, I was super under-leveled. So I got to the pirate area and I'm just like way under-leveled, and it's kind of like, I'm not sure I want to go back and do this. I've talked about this on past streams, but like, I definitely kind of feel like I'm losing my patience for really grinding through it. No, I should go and kill my attackers. I forgot I was intentionally drawing aggro on everybody. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I've sort of realized that I don't have the patience or the time anymore to really go through like a prolonged JRPG. So like, more power to you if you can do that. Like I watched my friend play through Octopath Traveler and they were really into it. But like, yeah, man. What was the other thing? One thing that I've been doing more, I like Chugga Conroy a lot. His Let's Plays are really great. So I've just been watching his Let's Plays for the huge JRPGs. So I finished his Earthbound one recently, especially since like I was like thinking like, oh, like should I go through his like older, because it was his first LP and he made it when he was a high schooler, and it was just like really bad, making a lot of gay jokes, like not really as professional and polished, which makes sense, it's his first LP and he's a high school kid. But like, right when I was about to start going through those, he announced that he was redoing it, so I was very excited. So I've gone through Earthbound, was very happy I watched it, rather than played through it. Because I understand why people are really excited about it, because it's definitely like a game that would have it still it feels very fresh even now. Definitely the battle mechanics are a little outdated. But now I'm watching his playthrough of Xenoblade, which I tried playing. I never really quite understood the combat, and so I got very stuck very early on. Like, he got to the part where I got stuck in like episode like 5 or something, and I was like, oh. And this is after he did all those side quests and things. I'm really liking that Let's Play right now. It's, I also understand more things about, like in the World of Light promo, like, why is Shulk seeing the future and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Super campy, though. Oh my god. Like, I don't know, people in the comments are like, wow, the voice acting is so powerful and stuff. And I'm like, this is the campiest thing I've ever heard. I think, it really just comes down to, like, oh, I don't know what that is. My phone went off. Just like a much lower tolerance for grinding in games. I have a friend who's really into Kingdom Hearts, and she's just like, whoa. She's my best friend from high school, and she has a complete living Pokédex. So like, she used Pokébank and like has every single Pokemon. And so actually there were some glitches in Pokébank right when we were first starting. So she had done a big deal of transferring everybody in it, and then lost everybody actually. So she has now gotten her living Pokédex twice, which I think is insane. I think she allowed it herself to not worry too much about like the, you know, those ones where you can only get it if you go to GameStop or something like that. I think she's working on getting them through Wonder Trade, but right now she's more focusing on trying to get all the legendaries. Not only all the legendaries, but the shiny versions of the legendaries, which is like, girl, please, like, you have so much fortitude to spend on video games, and I do. She also got into Persona, and like, this was before like, I think it's P4 Golden, where you can like just select the stats rather than like constantly re-rolling. But like, holy crap, she said she would spend like hours just like re-rolling. Oh, I thought that was a purple. She would just spend hours like re-rolling it just to get the stats, the stat buffs and whatever she wanted on her demons, which is just like, man. It was really funny because I still remember like this guy like trash talking her about like okay, let me see if I can do this way. Yeah, there you go. Trash talking her about like, oh, I bet I'm so much better at Kingdom Hearts than you are. And this is Birth by Sleep, and she just whooped him. It was great. It really sucks that there's still not really a ton of women in gaming that I know. But yeah, I would say that she's one of the people that I really stay in touch with, because like, it's nice to have someone that you can really get along with and like just talk about video games, craft with, and not have to deal with all the people on the internet. Dang it, I was doing so well. I think I could have won this one, actually. It's really frustrating. That's actually really frustrating. Jeez, I should have had this. Oh well. Oh, I survived? No, I didn't. Where'd the other guy go? Anyways, I should have gotten this one. That's sort of frustrating. Yeah, finally got my T-spin. Yeah. Well, Shadow Dragon's technically FE1, right? Because it's like, they remade it to whatchamacallit. It's a remake of the first one or something. I don't think they're ever gonna make it less waifu simulator. I think they get a lot of money for making it be a waifu simulator. Waifus and husbandos. Man. getting hungry. I might end stream early just so I can get the foods. Actually, no, screw it. I'm gonna kill the giants. Yeah. A lot of people attacking me. But just like that feeling we get when you see like all of the sparkly things like attacking all of these people all at once is just like a good feel. I've been a lot worse at cooking recently. I'm just like not cooking giant meals like I usually do. I don't really have a good reason for it. It just seems to be the case. Oh, I was not paying attention. God dang it. Yeah, the house gets really lonely without Ava, because also Jonah is traveling for work, so house has been really quiet. But what can you do? I think it's funny that a lot of people think it's weird that I live with like 5 other people, but it's really kind of nice to live with friends. I guess probably the big thing is that like it's very unusual to be living in a place where you can live with a bunch of your friends all at once. But like I do really feel like this is one of the few things that has kind of kept me sane throughout graduate school. One of the guys in my lab was saying like, oh, I was talking about my guinea pig, and he was like, oh, maybe I should get a pet, and then he thought some more, and he's like, well, maybe not, right, because like, then I'd have to take care of it and stuff, but then he thought some more, and then he was like, still, it would be kind of nice to like, have something to go back home to, because right now, like, oh, I don't have anything to go home to, I might as well just stay in lab more. And I kind of empathized a lot with that, because I think that would honestly be me if it wasn't like living with a whole bunch of my friends and geez. I should really focus on killing the attackers. Not a great shot. There we go, it's better. I guess I'm just not putting out lines fast enough. Yeah, there's not much I can do for him here. Yeah, really not that much. Alright. 25, not that great. Souffle beef Wellington paella. Paella is pretty easy, because isn't that just like, you like fry some rice together and add saffron because you're a rich duder? I think it's just like less time and less motivation, I think, to cook the big things. I should just do it. Not really much of an excuse. Yeah, I live in a big house with 4 other roommates, so 5 people total. And there's a lot of my friends who do like big co-op houses. So like they own the house and there's like a 20 to 30 people who live there, but that's sort of different. Like, you know. With the mobile game, FE games might go back to normal levels of anime. Huh. It's kind of like where, for Mario, not Mario, for Link, they kind of just like, oh, you know, it's another Ocarina of Time remake, like everybody wanted. Yeah. Ava and I were talking about this to Chris, but we have huge nostalgia for Wind Waker because that really was like our Zelda, like our Ocarina of Time. We're like, you know. What am I doing? But yeah, the reason Ava's not here is Ava's looking at grad schools, so it's gonna be interesting if we have to find, or not if, when we have to find another roommate to sort of see if we can keep up the same chemistry. Because, you know, if it's someone ghosty, like, it just kind of feels already, like, different, you know. Man, all you guys need to see Searching, so I can talk about Searching without fears of spoilers. But, man, I don't know, just reflecting on, like, the... Jeez. Too much reflecting, not enough cloning noobs. This is really bad. What did I do wrong? Where did it all go wrong? This is the worst I've ever played. Wind Waker is the best unfinished Zelda game? What does that even mean? Ghosty means that, like, you know, you don't really see them around. They kind of just hole up in their room. What do you mean the best unfinished Zelda game? Like, aside from the part at the end where it's just like a garbage fetch quest, like, I think it's pretty good. How come when I go to KO it's like a ton of things? I don't know. I mean, I think for me the reason why I like Wind Waker the most is because, like, just this feeling of, like... Skyward Sword, in my opinion, has the worst plot. Is that, like, you're just like, oh, I am fated to do this, and I've got this annoying robot following me around being like, you are fated to do so, master, and, like, it's boring. It's really boring. And, like, I really like the part about Wind Waker is that, like, you're honestly just a little kid, and you have to wear these scratchy clothes, because it's your birthday, and that's a tradition, and you gotta deal with it, and grandma knows that it's really boring. And then your sister is like, okay, you can borrow my telescope just for today, it's really special, don't lose it. And it's just, you know, I know that Twilight Princess tries to evoke sort of the same feeling, with, you know, like, oh, you're a goat farmer, and here are all the kids, and you're popular among kids, and here's your love interest who kidnaps your horse, right? Like, it tries to capture that, but it just falls flat. Like, there's really a lot of personality in Wind Waker, and I love it a lot. I actually really liked, I played through, I went to GameStop, and then I bought, because I got my 3DS relatively late, so I got the Link Between Worlds, and Triforce Heroes, which I'm still meaning to play, because I actually, I think I'm one of the few people who has actually played through Four Swords Adventures with, like, you know, actually 4 other people and, like, a consistent thing and, like, doing it multiplayer and stuff. And boy, let me tell you, that's a great experience. I heartily recommend everybody to try to do this, especially since now, as an adult with disposable income, you can actually go get all those cables and everything. But anyways, it was a great time. So I got Triforce Heroes so I could do that as well. But haven't found a good group of friends to really do that with. But yeah, I really like Link Between Worlds. I think my only complaint is that, like, it was too easy. I don't know if this is because I'm older now, because Link to the Past gave me a lot of trouble when I was a kid, but one of the main things I liked it for was explaining the dumb rabbit hat in the DLC of jeez, I am not doing as well. What happened? Oh shoot. The Dumb Rabbit DLC in the in Breath of the Wild. Like I was like, because completely out of context, that dumb hat is just the weirdest thing, and you're like, holy crap, like, why is this big purple rabbit thing just running around? And then as soon as I played Link Between Worlds, I was like, ah, I see, this character is good. But yeah, since the game was so easy, I never really felt in danger of like losing all my items. So yeah, it was kind of like, it was a nice concept, but it was a little like, you know, I don't know, more risk, I guess. And again, it's kind of a hard thing to tell if that's like, oh, I could T-spin, but I don't have the T sometimes. Like, oh, is this, I'm just getting better at games, or like, you know, is this actually easier? And yeah. It's interesting how many people seem to have their settings turned on to badges, because as soon as like you do remotely well, you just get hammered. Yeah, I think that's it. Ah, jeez. That's not bad. Am I going to make it to another #1 before the end of the stream? Oh, the amount of cut contention is high. The third pearl's just given to you. Yeah, that's fair. What am I? Is it getting dark on like the video stream? No. Four Swords for Switch. Holy crap. I think that Breath of the Wild is a perfect game, as far as I'm concerned. Like, sure, like, maybe the overworld feels really empty, but like, Breath of the Wild, perfect game, as far as I'm concerned. Holy crap. Okay, I guess I feel justified in having a lot of trouble with Link to the Past as a kid, if you say it's like, much harder. My battery is low and it's getting dark. Oh. Oh, Mars are over. I'm so sad about Mars are over. Like 15 years though. I didn't realize it was still going after 15 years. I remember hearing like news reports that it was like, freaking like, oh, it got stuck at one point and it was just like kind of serving as like a stationary observation point for 15 years. Like, every time I hear like stories about space engineering, like I freak out, because it's like, honestly, that not only do you make it to work the first time, but that also you engineered the system so well that it was able to remain functioning for 15 years is ridiculous. Like, holy crap. I'm paying technical debt right now on my dumb thing, and it's only been like, what, like a month? Like, jeez. Space is like, man. I still remember going to the freaking Air and Space Museum a couple years ago and seeing, they had a scale model of, maybe it wasn't even a scale model, maybe it was like an old prototype or something, but it was of Curiosity, and like, freaking, since, Spirit and Opportunity are the size of a dog, like that's what I was assuming, but no, we landed a car. Curiosity is the size of a car, and we landed that on Mars with a freaking sky crane, and it worked, and like, man, that's crazy. I don't know. I think, yeah, I think that's one of the things that like makes me really proud of like the human race, is that like, just the sheer amount of like engineering. mind-boggling. So I'm in a bunch of media studies classes this term, and so one of them is networked cultures, which is basically internet studies, but we're, you know, kind of like networks are all around this, like, right? There's like the supply chain network and stuff like that. So one of the readings really struck home to me, which was like, it was anatomy of an AI system. So like when you talk to Alexa or Siri on your phone, like what's happening. And it's not only like the technical stack where you have, you know, like front-end databases, servers, whatever, but it's also like the whole process of, you know, mining the rare earth metals and, you know, mining the rare earth metals, the assembly process, the logistics of shipping it to places, you know, and even the disposal process of like your device is done, you need to get rid of it, you need to recycle it, like what happens to the e-waste, yada yada yada. And the phrase in there that like really strikes home to me is that you literally have a confluence of planetary resources for this one moment of like turning the lights off in your house, which undoubtedly is much easier for you to do than like the entire planet coming together for this one moment where you can ask for your lights to be turned off. It was very powerful. I forgot why I don't remember why I'm talking about this. Just things I'm excited about in class, I guess. Oh, now I remember it. Space stuff. Someone there is in aerospace and they're like, pardon me because like I know this is going to show my aerospace colors, but they're talking about asteroid mining, and then they were saying that like even if 99% of the minerals in that asteroid got taxed, the person who successfully mines an asteroid would become a trillionaire. And that was just like crazy, you know, because like why even stop at like planetary, why even stop at planetary strip mining when you can start strip mining asteroids? Was, you know, like my first reaction. But I don't know, like space, man. But it really is of like kind of, we haven't really figured out our own problems on Earth, but like the stuff from the China satellite was, or I'm not sure if it was a satellite, the one that got the dark side of the moon pictures. I don't know. Man. We like freaking live in the future, man. Like freaking space and I hate the term AI, you know? It's just crud. I think about this a lot. I think about like if my, you know, younger self would hear that like I study video games and robots, like I would just think that was the coolest, absolute freaking coolest thing. You know, from MIT of all places, right? Like just like I don't know. What a time. Right, and then like at the same time, like understanding like the intense amount of inequalities and like privilege that like led me to this place is also just like, right, like what am I doing my Saturday or Thursday night? I am playing Tetris, talking to people from around the world. It's just a lot. Yeah. Oh, it was second again?
No.
Jesus.
Have you gotten first again?
No, not since that time I told you.
Are you manning chat and playing?
Yeah.
Oh man.
How would the prices... Wouldn't the prices drop before you became a trillionaire? Yeah, I think so. Oh, okay. It was the Chinese lander. We were talking about the Yeah, did you hear about the Mars rover?
Yeah. So one of my coworkers made a comment today. He's like, he was saying, I would like to think that it didn't die. It just fell asleep. And at some point, 100 years in the future, someone's gonna walk on the moon. Like, people are just gonna regularly walk on the moon. They'll find it, and they'll put batteries in it again, and it'll wake back up.
Oh.
It's like, it's just going to sleep right now, because it doesn't have power. But at some point, someone's gonna stick more batteries in it.
But also, like, who was the engineer who programmed it to say, my battery is low and it's getting dark? Like, what the crap?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that was the Mars rover's last words.
It was some guy who stayed up until 4 AM working on this thing, being like, okay, I want your end to be very poetic, but I also hate you right now.
Oh, okay. It wasn't a quote from the rover. It was some guy on Twitter making it up. Okay, I am more appeased by this. This is related to discussions we have about, like, what is it? The, being unable to tell, like, AI versus, like, computer-generated thing versus that meme of, like, I fed a computer 1,000 hours of Olive Garden, here's what it spat out.
1,000 hours of Olive Garden?
So this is a meme format. This is now an existential crisis stream. There's this meme format of, like, the person on Twitter saying, like, I forced a computer to watch 1,000 hours of Olive Garden commercials, and here's the screenplay it spat back out. Right. And it's just this, like, surrealist, like, fiction.
Yeah, because everything an AI spits out has to be surrealist.
No, it's not an AI. It's just, like, he wrote his own surrealist thing, but, like, framed it as, like, I fed an AI this amount of stuff.
Oh, really?
And then people are not able to tell that this is definitely not an AI-generated thing. Because, like, have you read markup chain stuff?
I mean, I acted in a play that was written by an AI.
No, did you watch that, like, Sunspring thing I said?
Oh, no, I have to watch it.
Oh, okay, it's very good.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, but then when you read it, like, this is like, oh, this is very clearly written by a human and not a computer. But, like, because of the framing, people are really not able to tell, and I feel like it says something about, like, that we're not at the point where, like, it's like the inverse Turing test of, like, people are failing, like, able to tell if this is computer generated or not. Anyways. Aww.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, I should send out my Tetris paper, I guess. While I'm.
The founder of Anna's Taqueria passed away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not Anna?
No, it's the founder of Anna's Taqueria is not
Anna.
It's not Anna.
It's also not.
Also not Hispanic.
Well, I'm glad he did some good business. Oh, man. I'll put this on the Discord as well. Where are these memes? Oh. Oh. Have you read 17776?
17776?
Yes. The Future of Football.
Oh, I like started it and then quickly like, oh no, this is the black hole and I'm getting away from it before it takes me.
It's not that long. It's not that long. It's it's like 10 chapters.
Okay.
But it's very good. But anyways, so you know that there's, like, satellites talking about football.
Yeah.
So Cesium just posted the end of that. Cesium says it's not Homestuck. Yeah, no. If you were getting started on Homestuck, which is also not worth it, that would be a different story. But man, I was surprised how long I could just talk to myself, with occasional checking back onto chat. Did you enjoy your shower?
I did. I also practiced some bands beforehand, and that was fun.
Nice. I was talking about how lonely it is without the rest of our roommates. I mean, it's true, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. or like what, 2 out of 5?
Yeah.
Because who knows where Wesley goes.
That's what Wesley is. I mean, Jonah's coming back tomorrow.
Yeah, but like not now. It's really funny because they're hearing all the music, but like I don't know where Ava's audio splitter is, so even if I wanted to, I couldn't get the music so that we could hear it. So they're like hearing all the like da na na and all that, and they're just like, you know, just
It's really quiet.
Just really quiet, very chill. It's funny, like the audio cues, like you know for Duolingo, right? It like plays a noise if you're right. I actually turned that off in the settings because I was like, I really don't want this audio cue haunting my dreams. What's your relationship to Tetris?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't play that many video games when I was younger.
Even Tetris?
I did Tetris.
Okay.
No. I think I maybe like played it once. Most people were like, oh, it's, you know, it's a typical, like, it's the traditional video game, one of the traditional video games.
Yeah.
I played it, and I was like, oh, I could see how this is, like, really entertaining and fun, but it's not, like, addicting.
I find this game very addicting. And then my parents did too. Yeah, I told you that story.
Yeah.
It was funny because when this first came out, they, like, super played up the, like, behind the Iron Curtain mystique. Which is really funny. Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit, but like the copyright stories is also like super interesting. About like there's a big copyright fight about it. Precisely because it was coming from a communist country, which didn't have like strong IP laws. So the question was like, which Japanese company was going to get the IP rights to be able to license this. And also especially because it's such a simple concept, right? Like, yeah. Like, who was allowed to be the official Tetris? I think the long story short is that the guy from Nintendo became like best friends with the Russian programmer, and then so ended up getting the rights to it. And they're like still friends even now. And like still like licensing it out. So I would play on Tetris Friends, which is like it's a pretty niche website, but like run by the Tetris company. And one of the cosmetics that you could unlock was the Russian programmer like saying like Tetris, or like you know, as you cleared single, double, back to back Tetris. Like it was pretty funny. Yeah, how is this on the spectator's perspective? Because I've only been playing. Like, there seems to be a lot of, like, shiny things everywhere.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more... I don't know, I guess the closest, like the one, like, kind of puzzle-y, like, color-coded, or color-y, I don't know, those primary color games that involve blocks or squares. You know, like that variant of game?
Yeah.
That's like either you have to put a certain number of blocks together and then you like destroy them.
Yeah.
Or you can put a certain number of colored balls together and you destroy a patch or something like that.
Oh, the ones where you like shoot out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like one of the games that I actually did play a lot when I was a kid, also partially because my dad also played it a lot, was Luxor.
Oh, yeah.
So like we were really into Luxor and like the colorful bug variation of Luxor, basically. I forgot what that was called. But yeah, we were really into those two games.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were really into those two games.
So like it just this reminds me of like we had like beaten Luxor the game, or like my dad had beaten it and we're like, oh man, you beat it, right? And then we got Luxor 2. And then it's like, oh, like things are slightly shinier and like there's slightly more details to it. That's what this feels like.
Oh man, if you also heard the music to this, it's like a electric like remix of Tetris song. And it's like it's on. Apparently there's an even more addicting battle royale called Apex Legends. I probably don't want to know what this is. But yeah, so then when there's when there's 50 players left, it does a faster remix, and then when yeah, I should probably stop pretty soon because I'm getting tired of making more mistakes. But yeah, they have a faster remix of the traditional Tetris song, and then after that, it becomes Flight of the Bumblebee, but also like this weird, like vaguely EDM remix of it. I definitely know what you mean about like the shinier and
slightly better graphics, same gameplay. They don't make graphics too good, otherwise it would distract from the game. But they like enhance it in just the right way.
This is still pretty distracting in my opinion.
This is pretty distracting. Although I appreciate because like Tetris is so simple in design that like you could have 50 or 60 screens of this at a time and have a good indication of how people were doing.
Oh, so can you actually see like?
Yeah, I can actually like there's other people playing Tetris. And I can see like, oh yeah, you're screwed. Or you're doing very well, or you're very close to screwed, or like, you chose a very interesting way of like collecting all your blocks and you're gonna be gone soon. Yeah.
I just think it's funny that they like felt the need to like market it as like Battle Royale Tetris. Which is like a very buzzword. I was going on this whole rant about like multiplayer Tetris earlier and like how this is not actually Battle Royale, but it just feels funny that like Tetris is somehow still relevant after all of these years. And that people genuinely get excited about this, you know? Like, on the video game side I was watching, they were like, oh, this is like the one game that's like actually motivating me to maybe get like the online subscription package. Of like, you know, there's all these other shiny games out there. It's freaking Tetris that...
it's like timeless.
Yeah.
Why do people still read Harry Potter to their kids? Like, okay, granted now is the generation of like people who grew up reading Harry Potter and not reading it to their children.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. But like, why are you motivated to read this to your kids?
Yeah.
Particularly.
Yeah. And like Roald Dahl.
Yeah, Roald Dahl.
I think what's funny is that I feel like the Judy Blume books didn't really age. Or like, I don't know, maybe I'm just like not the right...
I also wasn't the biggest fan of the Judy Blume books, reading them. So I think that was just my personal preference, because when I was a kid, I like wasn't really interested in like vague family like drama or family like those kind of good growing up novels. I was much more interested in fantasy and like things.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. Yeah,
we chatted about this. So I think I was also like I definitely knew my cousins who were 10 years older than me were big fans of it when it came out. And I think that's partially also because of like the explosion of children's literature that happened like after too long before we were born. Yeah. So by the time we got around to like reading things like from Judy Blume, like we had like a glut of a whole bunch of other authors that were also like cashing in the whole like children's literature rage.
Yeah, but I mean I think why Judy Blume was so big was that like she was like, oh, she's like actually talking about issues that a child would face, and some of this controversial like Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, of like discussing issues of masturbation and like going on your period for the first time. So like,
oh, I never read that.
So this got banned in a lot of schools because it was like, so Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret is kind of like what it sounds. Is like it's a young girl going through puberty and like dealing with boys and stuff like that. But like part of it is like, you know, like exploring your body and like changes are happening that you're not quite sure about, and like this was too much for some parents.
Oh, okay, maybe I didn't think about, okay, maybe it wasn't Judy Blume that I was thinking about. I was thinking about Beverly Cleary.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Never mind. Yeah.
I mean, it's still the same, like, yeah, Beverly Cleary also had like a lot of, was really popular. Never got banned though.
Yeah, because all of her books were too wholesome.
Yeah. I think I only like the mouse and the motorcycle from Beverly Cleary.
Yeah, I really liked all them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. I didn't really like her Luna novels as much.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also interesting.
Oh, yeah, I never read any of her books.
Oh, Judy Blume?
Yeah, I actually never read any of her books.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, wow, I actually never read any of her books.
Yeah, she's really, like, she's like one of, like, the defining children's literature people.
Yeah.
It's decent. What's this? Apex Legends. Sometimes I hear Pokemon or Castlevania music when it transitions between intensity. Oh yeah, this looks like something that I don't want to get into. Yeah, or I think it's the classic kind of MIDI sort of feel. That's like giving you that feeling. Oh, this will probably be my last game. Well, I did get my first place once, so I'm happy. Got a whole bunch of second places. I got one second place that really should have been a first place. Oh, boy. Off to a great start. Yeah, I'm really impressed that Jonah's like going out for so long, because it's just like, I feel like when I'm gone from home for too long, there's like all this stuff that I'm missing, like all these different events.
Or is it like mostly, like, what do you mean by all these different events?
I feel like when I'm out of town, that's like when all my friends like start to do really interesting things. Like there's a housewarming, or we're going to go see this play, or something like that. You know, like all the things I want to go to. And I definitely know it's just like, you know,
Yeah.
just the FOMO from like.
Is it mostly FOMO when you're like at a conference and you're like,
Yeah, and especially if it's like if I don't want to be at the conference.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like I could be at home doing all this cool stuff. I think the things that's always funny is that like seeing all the things that are like slightly different when you come back.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, like you got a giant beanbag or something.
Yeah, I remember when I was gone for literally I was gone for almost a month. I was gone for like a full 3 weeks. Because of flight testing and then going home and then going to California.
Yeah.
And then I came back and I was like, there's a corner couch and what's going, like, I was like, the house looks slightly different even though I know like almost nothing changed, but yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize corner couch happened when you were gone.
Yeah, corner couch happened when I was gone. I came back and was like, what is that in the corner? Why?
Now we know why, because it's great. I'm not doing too well. This is a shitty last game. Probably switch these. Yeah, that would help me. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I was talking to my parents and they were like, I was like, wow, I'm traveling a whole bunch. And I'm also excited because for coming back from Korea, there's a layover. It's gonna be in Atlanta.
Oh, we're gonna visit.
Yeah, I'm gonna visit my parents, and they're like, "Oh, we're not sure if we're here," and we'll check the dates. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that'll be sweet." I didn't even get the idea until like new postdoc was like, "Oh, I'm taking a layover in Dallas, so I can hang out with folks," and I was like, "Oh, what a smart idea!" But I checked all the places that I have family in, and I was like, "Oh, that's my place." Is Seattle a hub for anything?
It's getting to be a pretty big tech hub.
Oh, I meant for like planes.
Oh, Hawaii? Maybe?
Great.
Yeah, it's like one of those, yeah. I mean, I guess like any flight that way, like Hawaii, Alaska.
Okay, so maybe like a hub for Alaska Air, but like...
Yeah, basically it's a hub for Alaska Air.
Oh, okay. It's not...
When my dad would go to work and fix hospital equipment in Alaska, he would always take Alaska Air from Seattle.
Wait. That's a little bit burying the lead. He would go fix equipment?
Sorry, he works as a hospital, like, magnet equipment technician. So he works on all the CAT scans and...
Yo, that's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. But like he works for Philips, so it's the company that makes all the light bulbs you see in Home Depot. But they also do medical equipment, fancy medical equipment. So yeah, he does that. But then like he was also working like in the big like Washington to Alaska area for a while.
Wow.
So he would have to fly up to Alaska and go fix things, like he would fly to usually Anchorage or something for a bit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he would go to Nome, and also visit his sister there because he used to have family living there before they moved back down.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he would also go salmon fishing in the harbor.
Oh, that sounds
on his
great.
days off. It was, yeah. We had this whole plan where I was going to go to University of Washington, because it had it pretty well set up there.
Yeah.
I was gonna go to UW, which doesn't start until like September. So we had this whole plan where like, before I go off to college, right? I was gonna be close by anyway, but before I go off to college, I was gonna spend a while like just salmon fishing with my dad in the harbor because I would finally not get sick.
Oh.
Since it wasn't, past the bar.
Yeah.
And then I got into MIT. And then looking at financial aid and stuff, my parents realized, based on like how UW's like tuition inflation is going, and like,
it wouldn't actually be that much of a...
It wouldn't actually be that much of a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had this pretty great scholarship for University of Washington that would have like paid off my first 2 years there.
Yeah.
Which would have been like, freaking amazing. But like the remaining 2 years were like,
Yeah.
And then my parents were like, the public school, so it's still going to be cheaper, but because it's a cheaper public school, they might not give us you might not get any financial aid because we're middle class, upper middle class-ish.
I'm surprised that even, like, in-state, it would still be, like, hard, because, like, Georgia Tech was fine, like...
Georgia Tech is really nice. I think I remember checking out their financial aid and being like, I'm not gonna get any benefit from here, but like, yeah.
Right, okay, so like, they're particularly nice to their in-state tuitions, apparently, yeah. Okay.
I mean, like, UW is still pretty nice, but I remember, like, checking out the financial aid package, and, like, yeah, like, the first 2 years would have been, like, great. Basically, I had my first... I don't remember like, the first 2 years, or the like, first whole year, basically, or, like, half of the 2 years paid off or something. But it was, like, some nice package that was, like, definitely better than everything else.
Yeah.
Until I got into MIT, and then, like, comparing all the things. Actually, I think what ended up being, like, maybe the best package was UPenn, but my dad was terrified of me living, and, yeah.
What's wrong with Philly?
My dad was very scared about me living in Philly.
Well, my parents had, like, a hard no about, like, don't even apply to Yale. Like, New Haven sucks. And now, having visited New Haven, I'm like, yeah, New Haven sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I was pretty mixed between UPenn, MIT, and UW. Because UW was, like, nicer, in a sense, financially. And UPenn was, like, also slightly nicer than MIT financially, but, yeah, like, we tossed it around. I, like, spent a good, like, month, like, constipated on what to do. Because I was like, man, like, MIT's really great, but I haven't actually ever visited because I didn't go to CPW. Right. I went to somewhere else instead. And then I was like, and my dad would be very unhappy if I went to UPenn because he'd be worried about me all the time, although apparently he's, like, not that bad.
Philly's fine.
Yeah, Philly's fine. I don't know if my dad was too concerned, but he's my dad, so of course he's gonna be worried.
Right.
And then I'm like, UW, I would be here, and I'd be really close, but, like, it'd be nice to move far away for a bit, and, like, explore that, so yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Thanks, kids, for coming. Sorry that I got my first place right at the beginning.
You just still you're in top 10. Like, that's pretty good.
It's not first.
Oh my god.
See, they only give you the special rankings if you're in the top 3.
This reminds me of but if you like got the most money in the end and like the 4 Zeldas get or the 4 Links get, you like get a special recognition at the end, and this is why everyone murders each other as the game goes on.
So what's really funny is that yes, now I've done 3 hours of play. What's really funny is that in the whatchamacallit, what was it? In New Super Mario Bros., where it's like a co-op thing to go through the levels, the only thing that you get if you get more points is just a crown. You don't even get a shout out at the end, you just get a crown that you can wear at the next one. And people will absolutely just murder each other for this. So it's supposed to be like a cooperative fun game, and no, it's like murder everyone. It's hilarious. And that's all you get, you just get a little crown. It doesn't do anything. You just wear it. Especially because other people can steal the crown for you.
Oh my god.
That's great. Alright, see ya.